Got ourselves a little porcupine, guys. Look at that. It's a pretty big porcupine. Wow. That's so cool. I always see porcupines here in this area at night. They always walk around. Just kind of galloping slowly. Getting away from us. Guys, we got a little bear in front of us here. I don't know if you guys can see. Look at this little bear. Look at him. It's a young one. Probably about 200 pounds. He's crossing the road. He's attempting to cross the road. Should I drive up closer? Should we give him a treat? No, it ran away.
No, there was another one too.
I don't think he's gonna go across. Oh, he's got a big body. Look at how big his body is. Huge. Wow. Oh, look. He's gonna attack the car. He rammed the car. Light him up with the light. To the fence. Look at this, guys. There's a deer just standing here right next to the road. Not even afraid at all. Look at that. Hey, buddy. Look at that, guys. I could literally touch this deer right now. Hey, buddy. How's it going? Wow. It's literally 6 feet away. Oh my gosh. Hey, buddy. Look at this beautiful river here, guys. Crystal clear water. Look at this. Actually got some animal tracks down there. Look at that. Looks like some deer tracks down there. Look at this gorgeous river. Beautiful foliage. Look at this, guys. Absolutely gorgeous here. Pristine. Very, very clean water. Beautiful woods. Look at that. What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka New York Prepper, and I wanted to do a little video about the scenery here in upstate New York this time of the year in the fall time. The scenery here is absolutely gorgeous. And I'm actually on a bridge right now. I'm crossing over the Hudson River, okay? And in a second you're gonna see the Catskill Mountains coming into view. And this time of the year is just absolutely beautiful. You know, a lot of people complain about the cold weather and they move down south, but you know, one of the things that, you know, we have up here is we have beautiful fall foliage and beautiful winters. You know, and that's one of the things I like about living here, is the beautiful fall foliage. You know, right now it's middle of October, and the fall foliage is in its peak. So I'm just gonna do a little hiking trip today, and a little bit of camping, okay? And I'll take you guys along for my little trip here and show you guys some of the beautiful terrain here in upstate New York. What you're looking at there is the Catskill Mountains, you know, the Catskill Mountains are quite secluded. There's a lot of wilderness areas there, and they get up to about 4,000 feet. There's a couple of peaks, Slide Mountain and Hunter Mountain, which are over 4,000 feet. All right, so they get quite high, and so I'm gonna take you guys along for my trip and show you guys some of the beautiful foliage here. So thanks for watching and stay tuned. I always think of the Catskills as like New York's Alaska, because the Catskills and the Adirondack Mountains in New York, they're not really mountains by Western standards. They're more like large hills, but because of the elevation and also the fact that New York is very far north on latitude, the weather is very similar to like places that are a lot colder and further north, like Canada. You know, the record cold temperature in New York was actually in the Adirondacks, in a town called Old Forge, and the temperature dropped to minus 56 degrees Fahrenheit one day. There's a lot of reservoirs up here. New York City reservoirs. There's many reservoirs up here. New York City gets all their water from the reservoirs. And I'll show you guys some of the reservoirs as I'm passing by them here. So without these reservoirs, New York City would not have any water. They don't have their own drinking water system. They need to get their water from the reservoirs because they don't have their own source of water. So there's a huge system of reservoirs here in the Catskills and Hudson Valley, and these reservoirs are absolutely huge. A lot of them are over 100 years old, and you know, there's many of them, and there's like giant aqueducts that go underground for over 100 miles. You know, these giant tunnels that are basically like 30 foot in diameter, and they carry all the water from the reservoir down to the city. And so it's pretty interesting how they were able to build all these reservoirs and aqueducts such a long time ago, when you know, you didn't have all the modern technology that you do now, you know. And here's the Rondout Reservoir on the left side. This is the dam for the Rondout Reservoir, okay. It's a very beautiful reservoir. Great fishing here. A lot of people go ice fishing on the reservoirs. You can dock a boat on the reservoir. You can get a permit from New York City, and what you do is you get a rowboat, because there's no gas engines allowed because it's drinking water. You can get a little rowboat and drop it along the shore and chain it to a tree, and the fishing is really good in these reservoirs just because the water is so pristine, because it's drinking water and there's no gas engines or anything allowed. And so there's some massive trout in these reservoirs. This is the Rondout Reservoir here, some kind of pump station. Wanted to show you guys the beautiful foliage here. Beautiful day. Look at this blue sky. All right, look at that. I want to show you guys this beauty here. Fall foliage. It's one of the beauties of living in the Northeast, you know, is this beautiful fall foliage. It's definitely worth it. Dealing with the cold and the snow, because you can see these beautiful leaves every October. It's just a gorgeous day, guys, so stick around. Here's another New York City reservoir. This is the Neversink Reservoir, also very large, and it's a huge dam here. Driving, there's a road that goes over the dam. Water's kind of choppy today. There's a little pump house over there. Alright, I'll show you guys some of the beautiful foliage. Look at the orange and red colorations everywhere. All day here. Look at this giant dam over here. Huge dam. Look at that big grassy field. It's nice. And sledding here in the winter would be intense. Look at that big hill. Sled down that hill, that would be fun. Getting into the Catskills wilderness area now. Now there's no national forests in New York State, but New York State declared the Catskill Mountains and the Adirondack Mountains forever wild. And they set aside a few million acres in the Catskills and Adirondacks that are all designated as forever wild under the New York State Constitution, and they're wilderness areas. And what that means is there's no building allowed, there's no logging. The only thing you can do with that land is hunt on it, fish, and you know, hike. That's pretty much it. There's two designations of wilderness areas in New York. You have wild forests, and then you have wilderness. And the wild forests are basically wilderness, but you can do a little bit more there. You can go snowmobiling, you can bring your horses there and go horseback riding. And then the wilderness areas are strictly just fishing, hiking, backcountry camping, backpacking, things like that. There's no snowmobiling, no ATVs, none of that. It's just fully, you know, wilderness. So, you know, but the Catskills and the Adirondacks are designated forever wild, which means that it's basically, it'll never be sold. It's permanently preserved as a wilderness area, and those pieces of land will never get sold to developers or anything like that. So, you know, it's kind of like a national forest, basically. It's almost like a national forest. So, look at these colors, guys. Those are the sugar maples and red maples. They have absolutely beautiful foliage. So we're driving through one of the wilderness areas now. We're getting into the wilderness. As you can see, there's no houses anywhere. It's just trees and forest. Miles and miles of forest, nothing around. And the winters are quite harsh here, like I said. This is a great bug out area for somebody who's in New York City or the surrounding areas. Great bug out area. I've been hunting these hills for 20 years in the Catskills, ever since I was a teenager, and I started hunting when I was 14 years old, bow hunting, and then I started gun hunting when I got a little bit older. Once I was like 16, in New York State you can hunt with a rifle at the age of 16 as long as you're accompanied by an adult. So I was actually gun hunting when I was 16 years old, and these were one of my favorite spots over here. I used to always ask my dad to take me hunting, and sometimes he would get so annoyed because he had stuff to do, fix things around the house, and I would always bug him to go hunting. And you know, I just love being in the beautiful woods here. Even if I didn't shoot anything, it was just nice being in the woods, you know, in the secluded Catskills. But I know these woods very well. This is a potential bug out area for me. because it's, you know, pretty much really close to where I live. So I know the area, I know the terrain, so it'd be home field advantage for me. So want to just show you guys the leaves now and the foliage. So just gonna let you guys enjoy the ride. Very, very secluded area here. Not many people at all, sparsely populated. I think that in the last few years there's been a lot of mountain lion and wolf sightings in the Catskills and all across upstate New York, and I think they've come back here. And I mean, there's nothing around. As you can see, this would be a great place for wolves and mountain lions. There's so much forest areas for them. And moose are coming back as well. There's been moose sightings around. So, but back in the day, this area had a very heavy mountain lion population. Before they were all killed off, New York State actually paid bounties for people to hunt wolves and mountain lions, and they killed them all off pretty much. But, you know, up until like 1940, the Catskills was full of mountain lions and wolves. Alright guys, we're in the wilderness now, as you can see, and this area used to be a hunting mecca back in the day. 70s, 80s, and 90s. This area was full of hunters every year, all year round. Sportsmen from all over downstate New York would come here for, you know, turkey season in the springtime, fishing in the summer, trout fishing. There's some really good trout streams here. One of the best trout streams in the country, actually, the Beaver Kill for brook trout. Deer hunting in the fall. You know, deer hunting in the fall in this area was like, you know, like a pilgrimage of hunters from downstate New York. All the hunters from downstate would come here, and there were hunting clubs all over the place. But a lot of that has changed now. A lot of the old hunting camps have shut down, unfortunately. I mean, it's good and it's bad, because if you're a hunter like me, you don't really have that many other hunters in the woods that are going to spook everything. But when I first started hunting here, when I was a teenager and I was learning the ropes, this area, you would just see cars on the sides, on the roads here, on the shoulder. You would see trucks everywhere. People would just stop and go into the woods, and you know, those days are long gone. You know, a lot of these hunting camps have shut down, and people have moved out, moved to other states, especially the gun owners. You know, because New York, in the last 10 to 20 years, you know, the politicians have really regulated guns heavily here. So a lot of the gun owners and hunters, they've moved to other states where they can, you know, not be so persecuted. So it's kind of sad to see. There's a lot of abandoned hunting camps along the way here, like a lot of hunting cabins and clubs that are just shut down. And even if I come here in the peak of the deer season, very, very little hunters now, which, again, it's good for me because, you know, I don't have a lot of competition anymore. But it's also not the best either, because, you know, when there's less hunters in a place, you know, that means that they have less leverage. So if the state wants to regulate hunting or guns more, there's less gun owners and less hunters. So, you know, when it comes to political issues, there's less political leverage, you know, if all the hunters move out and all the gun owners move out. But you know, it's a beautiful area, as you guys can see. We're probably around 2,500 feet elevation here, and the snowpack here is very deep in the winter. It's probably going to start snowing here soon. I bet in the next week or two there'll already start to be flakes and light accumulation. And usually by November, this area has a few inches of snow on the ground when deer season starts. Every time deer season starts, I come here and there's always a few inches of snow on the ground. I can't recall maybe just 1 or 2 years where there was no snow in when deer season started, which is mid-November. The first week before, or the week before Thanksgiving, is when the deer season usually starts. Around mid-November, there's usually snow here. So, but I wanted to just show you guys the foliage and you know, some of the beautiful forests here. There's a lot of balsam fir and hemlocks. It's a gorgeous area here. Alright guys, we're almost at our camping spot here. I wanted to show you this beautiful little stream. Show you how clear the water is. Look at that beautiful stream. Middle of nowhere. Look at the beautiful foliage here. And I always thought that this house over here is like the perfect bug out house. Alright, it's backed up by you know, thousands and thousands of acres of wilderness, and it's actually a dirt road. It turns into a dirt road back there, and you know, there's only one way in over here, and he's got a stream right here. Nothing but woods around, wilderness around, and you know, he could just block off this roadway here. He could drop a tree or put some obstacles in the road, and you know, no cars are gonna come down here. So this is like the perfect bug out location, because you got the water here, got the wilderness behind you. Okay, only one way in and one way out. This is what you want if you're looking for a bug out location, something like this. Look at that beautiful stream, guys. Near our destination. Wanted to show you guys the beautiful foliage here. Look at this. Absolutely gorgeous. We are in our destination, guys. Look at this beautiful scenic woods here. Beautiful day. Gonna get the fire going. Look at this beautiful little stream here. It's gorgeous. Alright guys, I hope you're enjoying the scenery that I'm sharing with you. Gonna start a little fire now, and we're gonna do some stargazing. We're gonna cook some hot dogs now. Got my 500 Magnum on me, loaded up with 400 grain bear loads, 440 grain bear loads, 500 Smith & Wesson. All right, just getting used to carrying it because I'm going to Montana in a month or two, so I want to get used to carrying it, getting comfortable with it. And a lot of the bears here are getting ready for hibernation now, so there's a good chance you could run into a bear if you're in upstate New York this time of the year. The bears are feeding. They're getting ready to, they want to fatten up for the winter. So that's why I got my 500 on me. You know, just in case I run into a big 500-600 pound black bear, I can stop it quickly with authority. So, all right, guys, I hope you enjoyed my video so far, and stay tuned. I'm gonna build a fire and show you guys some of the scenery and the footage. So, thanks for watching. Alright guys, I got some wood here that I used for my penetration test. We're going to use this to burn as fuel. I got this little piece of wood, scrap wood, and I'm shaving off some shavings here with my Ontario SP10 Marine Raider Bowie. Just shaving some shavings off, then we're going to use the fire steel to get the fire going. So I always like to practice with my tools, even if I'm just going on a little camping trip. It's always good to, rather than using, fire starters and stuff, to practice your fire starting skills while you're camping. So, guys, so I got these larger shavings from the wood. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my knife and hold it at a perpendicular angle like this. And I'm just going to get some fine sawdust that I could use to catch a spark from my fire steel. Once that catches, I'm going to put the bigger shavings on top, and then I'm going to split this into little splinters and build up the fire. So stick around and watch me get this fire going. You know, you just want to hold the knife perpendicular like this, 90 degrees. All right, if you didn't have a piece of wood like this, you could just grab a dry stick from the woods. Any kind of dry branch that's not wet will work. Okay, you hold your knife 90 degrees, and you get these little shavings. Okay, you got to get a good sized pile. So you're gonna have to do this for a couple of minutes. And once you got a good sized pile, that's when you hit it with the ferro rod, you hit the spark, and then you put the larger shavings on top. Alright guys, I just want to show you the technique to get a fire going. Alright, you see how I'm holding it 90 degrees and I'm scraping off these fine shavings here. Okay, and those are going to take a spark very well from my ferro rod. Alright. And again, you need a dry branch. All right, you got to find a dry branch. I have this wood here, lumber piece that I have, but you could find a dry branch, no problem, unless it was raining for a while. But even if it was raining, you can find dry wood. It's usually, if it's elevated above the ground, it's going to be dry. All right, any kind of branch that's laying on the ground is always going to be wet, and you want to avoid using those. You want to get a branch that's elevated off the ground, like a blown down tree. A blown down tree will have branches that are up in the air, and they're always going to be dry because the bark keeps the inside of the wood dry, and it's elevated so it gets airflow and it dries up even when it's wet. So all right guys, I got this little fine shavings pile. Okay, and that's what we're going to hit with the ferro rod. Once that burns, we're going to grab some of these larger shavings here and put it on top. Once that starts to burn, we use the splinters, okay, and then we got larger pieces here, and then we build up the fire. So stick around, I'll show you how it works. Alright guys, look at how quick I got this fire going. That's called experience. Years and years of fire starting experience. You gotta practice. Practice makes perfect. There's no substitute for practice. All right? The more you practice, the better you're going to be in different situations. Obviously, I'm in an ideal scenario here. It's dry and it's, you know, I got dry lumber here, but, you know, practice makes perfect, guys. You know, don't forget to practice your skills. It's burning nicely, guys. Look at that beautiful fire. So quiet here. Nobody around. Look at these beautiful trees. Gorgeous birch trees and beech trees, maples. Very beautiful spot here. Love coming here. Look at this nice birch tree here. A little cross on it. Somebody hung up a cross. Beautiful. We're gonna cook some hot dogs here in a few seconds, and sun is going down slowly, so look at these gorgeous woods here, guys. Beautiful. I love the woods here in the fall time. It's just so gorgeous. Such a gorgeous time to be up here. Temperatures are in the 40s now. It's supposed to go down to 28 degrees tonight. So these are some of the boards that I use for my penetration tests. So we're just burning these leftover boards, and they're burning very well, actually. Look at these beautiful woods here, guys. Look at this. Beautiful. Look at these beech leaves turning orange. It's gorgeous. Love it. Beautiful time of the year. This is the beauty of God's creation. God created such a beautiful planet. That blue sky, stargazing is going to be excellent tonight. Look at all these leaves here. Beautiful woods. Look at this steep hill here, guys. Look at that. Beautiful hemlocks. Gorgeous area here. Beautiful. I'm going to be doing a lot of winter survival videos here and bushcrafting videos, so stay tuned to my channel for that. That'll be a multi-part series, so that'll be fun to do. Look at this little water source here. It's like a kind of a stagnant stream. Look at all the nice colors everywhere. All right, guys, we got our little peanut gallery here. Look at that. Got all the hot dogs cooking. Wood is burning nicely here. Can't wait to eat those hot dogs. Fire's nice and warm. Look at that beautiful fire. Fire's roaring, guys. Look at that. It's pretty funny because there's smoke coming out of the little bullet hole from one of my tests there. It's kind of funny. It looks like I just shot it, but that's just, there's a little hole in there in the wood from the shooting tests. Look at that beautiful fire. I didn't know Douglas fir could burn so well. Burns very well, actually. I guess because it's kiln dried. So this is why you got to have fire extinguishers in your house, because all the wood in your house is kiln dried. So they dry the wood with the kiln so it doesn't warp and change shape. Wow, nice and warm. This fire's nice and warm, guys. Hot dogs are cooking. We're gonna have to turn them soon. Look at these hot dogs, guys. Just want to show you guys the beautiful water here. Look at this beautiful stream. Look at this. Water is the source of life. Without water, you won't survive. Most of the leaves are gone from the trees. Look at that, guys. It's already like winter here. The leaves are mostly gone. Look at that. Look at that beautiful fire, guys. Now's a great time to go hiking or bushcrafting. Now's a good time to go camping because the summer crowds are gone. Most of the summer crowds are already home in the city. They're not going out into the woods, so now's a really good time for you guys to get outside, go into the woods, and enjoy Mother Nature. Practice your skills, practice your bushcrafting skills and your survival skills, and just to have a good time with your family. Get away and have some fresh air and enjoy the beautiful scenery. A lot of the summer crowds are pretty much gone, so I highly recommend you guys go out to your nearest mountain area and spend some time with your family in the woods. It's very good for the kids too, to get them out of the city and away from electronics and spend some quality time. So look at that beautiful fire, guys. We are actually planning a road trip to Montana for Christmas through New Year's, so I'm going to be filming that. We're going to stop by the Black Hills for a couple of nights and hang around the Black Hills, do some snowshoeing there, check out Mount Rushmore, Devil's Tower area, some of the grasslands, maybe look for bison, and then we're going to go to Montana and visit all the spots in western Montana. That'll be fun. So I'm going to film that and film my journey there and maybe show you guys some of the parks, you know, and show you how beautiful the western United States is, and Montana and the Black Hills. So that'll be pretty fun. I'm excited about that. So it's getting dark now. We're gonna get ready to head out. But thank you guys for watching and supporting my channel. I hope you enjoyed this video. And as always, take care, God bless, and don't forget the 3 P's. Prepare, practice, and persevere. It's getting cold.